In World War II, flying bullets, bursting bombs, and enemies flanking the friendly position plagued battlefields. What did many soldiers have to defend themselves? A wide variety of machine guns. I'm Mr. Birch, and today we are highlighting 3 of America's machine guns used in World War II. Starting with the BAR, or the BAR, or the Browning Automatic Rifle. The BAR came into use in autumn 1918. It was used in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The BAR was employed as an infantry weapon to deal with raised populations of enemies. It gave American troops the firepower needed to dismantle German trenches. This rifle was mainly used as a light machine gun, though it was not its initial purpose. This rifle was advertised as highly mobile, though many soldiers would disagree. It weighed nearly 20 pounds without bullets. Bipods, ammo, and extra magazines made it well over the 20-pound mark. The high-caliber 30-06 ripped through logs and trees, still proving deadly. Americans were hesitant at first to deploy the BAR due to the fear of it being captured and copied. Eventually, they saw the power provided on the battlefield, and that outweighed their fear of imitation. Next is the M1919. It was used in World War II, but it was phased out through the 1950s. Some were used in Vietnam, but it was not common. The 30 caliber machine gun originated in 1919, hence the name M1919. The M1919 was produced because Americans started making their own tanks and needed a machine gun to mount on them. The M1919's predecessor fell short due to it being a water-cooled machine gun and unsuitable for tanks. The next best option was a French machine gun, but it did not make much sense to have a machine gun shipped from overseas to be mounted on tanks, just for the tank to be shipped back overseas. Due to this problem, John Moses Browning got to work. Its design was based on the M1917 before it. The M1919 was a belt-fed machine gun, meaning it had metallic links that held long belts of bullets together that fed into the chamber. Made to be on tanks, the M1919 was not the most accurate gun. At the time, it was thought that a tank's machine gun should not have to be used beyond 100 yards. Eventually, the infantry picked it up, despite its subpar mobility. Eventually, there was an infantry model made called the M1919A4. This had a longer and heavier barrel, but had its own setbacks. The Second World War called for more mobility and fighting, opposed to mainly defense. This machine gun required a team of men to carry, deploy, and deconstruct. After World War II, this rifle was built upon and used until the 1960s, adding various additions to improve its defects. Mounted on many vehicles and put in soldiers' hands, this machine gun did its job, despite some of its downfalls. Next is the grease gun, or the M3 or the M3A1, chambered in 45 ACP. The military wanted a new submachine gun other than Thompson. The Thompson was a fine military arm, but it was costly and not very time-effective to build. Thus, they made the Thompson M1 and M1A1. Though these models were faster and cheaper to make than the predecessor, it still required a lot of machining work. Realizing that they could not simplify the Thompson anymore, they decided a whole new gun was needed. GM produced prototypes referred to as the T-15 and T-20. After these prototypes were perfected, the Army adopted them. Renaming them from the T-15 or T-20, they called it the M3. This entire gun can be manufactured for around $20. That's roughly half of what the Thompson cost to produce. It had a relatively slow rate of fire, allowing the user to shoot single shots if need be. These guns came off the assembly lines in a matter of months, which is relatively quick for the time. By July of 1943, 20,000 grease guns would be produced. At first, soldiers preferred their Thompsons due to the grease gun's strange appearance and some issues that had to be worked out, like the mag release being easily pressed in on accident. Though the M3A1 was an improved version of the grease gun, far more M3s saw the battle in World War II. The grease gun was so simply designed, they easily made conversion kits to change it from 45 ACP to 9mm in case a soldier had to resort to taking ammo from the enemy. This gun proved itself in the Second World War, and then it was in military use until the late 1950s. And as always, if you learned something new or liked this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.